We believe in this valley. From WYTV, this is 33 News at 6 in high definition.
Patrick Heltzel is just 20 years old, and this evening he's in the Trumbull County Jail accused of murdering 71-year-old Milton Grumbling of Warren Township. Today, Heltzel was in court, and we have that part of the story, but we also talked with Grumbling's friends who say his death was a big loss. Here's Trumbull County Bureau Chief Jeff Lefkowitz.
Friends and family continue to mourn the loss of 71-year-old Milton Grumbling, who was killed in his Warren Township home last week. Pastor James Ellison of the Todd Avenue United Methodist Church says Grumbling, a longtime member, just liked to help people.
And very giving. Had a good sense of humor, and he was anxious to serve.
While police are not releasing a motive for the crime, Grumbling may have been trying to help 20-year-old Patrick Heltzel at the time he allegedly stabbed him to death.
As part of his ministry with the Masons, he would mentor young men, some of them in very troubled circumstances.
Friends say the Masonic temple here in Warren was like a second home to him, where he played the organ.
But you'll miss his music. That's one of the big things we'll always miss, is because we have a nice pipe organ in our lodge, and I know that, if anybody public has ever come to the things, they see this, and Milt was one of the fellas that could really play that.
Alan Briggs, who knew Milton for 10 years through the Masons, was shocked that his friend was murdered the way he was.
It didn't make it as who you were, how old you were. Milt was there to help you. If you needed help, and most of the time you didn't have to ask Milt. If he'd seen that you needed help, he would just say, hey, I'll give you a hand.
Now that helping hand may have ultimately cost him his life. Covering Trumbull County, Jeff Lefkowitz, 33 News.
Also in jail on $1 million bond is 39-year-old Richard Clark, a homeless man from Warren, accused of murdering 49-year-old Dwayne Hickman inside Hickman's Williamsburg Street home earlier this month. Clark has pled not guilty. Police say Clark stayed at Hickman's home a few times, but they do not have a motive for the murder. A section of Interstate 680 is now open following a one-vehicle accident earlier this afternoon. Traffic was being diverted into the southbound lane of 680 between Market Street and Williamson Avenue because of the crash. One vehicle was damaged in the accident. Details on how it happened are not being released as the traffic investigators are still on the scene. We'll have more on the accident coming up tonight at 11. One of the three candidates in the Youngstown mayoral primary next month says he has learned from his past mistakes. Reverend Matthew Smith is running for the Democratic nomination on May the 7th. He's been campaigning on the issue of crime, especially drug-related offenses. However, we've learned that Smith was actually convicted of a drug count about 10 years ago and that he's had other problems.
When I got arrested, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, okay? When I first grew up in the Bay Area, okay? So everybody I knew got high, So I started messing with it. It was a mistake.
Okay. Smith now preaches at an Eastside Youngstown church. He doesn't think his past will hurt his chances in the primary. The situation with North Korea is getting tense, which concerns an East Liverpool family. Their son, Adam Ross, lives in South Korea, where he's teaching English. Roxanne Seabest Skyped with him.
After graduating with a degree in English literature from the University of Akron in 2009, East Liverpool native Adam Ross wanted to travel and explore the world.
South Korea, I thought, had a really interesting culture and interesting language, too.
So Adam, son of WYTV photographer Anthony Ross, moved there to teach English as a second language. He's lived in South Korea over 3 years now, met his wife there, and loves his job.
Especially with the kids, you kind of turn into this little superstar status. You'll be walking down the street, and you'll say, "Hey, teacher," from across the street, because, you're easily recognized.
Adjusting to the Korean culture also means adjusting to the tension between the North and the South. Adam is about 5 hours from the border. He compared the recent threats by North Korea to a post-9/11 world here in the States, saying the dangers exist, but they can't stop you from living your life.
When you talk to other foreigners, a lot of us, we've kind of gotten used to the fact that these threats come almost on an annual basis.
Adam says they have not been told to leave and he does plan on staying in South Korea.
Pretty much they've said business as usual.
He stays in close contact with the U.S. Embassy, as well as his family here in the Valley.
Well, of course they're worried. They get concerned. I get messages every once in a while, just checking to see if you're okay. But you kind of just go on with your life. You can't let that, hold you back.
Roxanne Seabest, 33 News.
Old Town Grove City, an organization to create a better downtown, this afternoon unveiled more eye-catching art in the form of parking sculptures. With what it looks like, let's go live to Miriam Hobbs in Grove City.
Stan, I'm live here in downtown Grove City, where two sculptures were just unveiled, one sitting right here behind me right now. Now, the Grove City collaborated with students from George Junior Republic to build these beautiful sculptures specifically for downtown Grove City. The name of the program is Pointing the Way, and there's a reason for that name. I'm joined now with Glenn Sanders, Fine Arts Director at George Junior Republic. Talk about the Pointing the Way program, the reason for that name, and why these sculptures are sitting downtown.
Okay, Pointing the Way basically was to point direction to where public parking could be for downtown, for visitors coming in and so forth. And also working with George Junior students, they're at-risk students that have been court appointed to the school. It gives them an opportunity to build skills of craftsmanship and an opportunity to maybe see that those skills can point the way to a new and better life.
Okay. Now, these students are welding students as well as other programs at George Junior. What are some of the other programs these students came from?
Yes, we start with a volunteer art, after-school art program. It's called Art 2.0. They actually designed the program or the models for the sculptures. Then the borough picks two of those sculptures, and we go down to the VOTEC. Once the VOTEC starts fabricating them in the welding department, and then it moves over to the auto body department where they actually prep and paint the final pieces.
Now, you also want to attract more people to downtown Grove City. Okay, they're known for the outlet shopping mall, but you want people to also visit downtown more often.
Right. We figured with these big art projects that people would be curious and want to come down here. And once they're down here, hopefully they shop and spend some time in Old Town Grove City.
All right, thank you, Glenn. Now, there are now 6 sculptures sitting in downtown Grove City. The program's goal is to install 10 sculptures throughout downtown Grove City over the next few years. Live in downtown Grove City, I'm Miriam Hobbs. Stan, back to you at the studio.
It's a lot still to come on 33 News at 6. Help wanted. 2 days after storms knocked down trees in Buell Park, officials are asking for help during the annual cleanup day. A little cluster of rain moving our way.
Yeah, nothing like what we've had over the past few days. Just some light showers out there. Here's a look at Doppler radar. One of those moving out of Portage County and pushing into Trumbull County. Light sprinkles, a light shower, even a snowflake possible overnight. We have a cooler start to our weekend, but we're back in the 70s in that 7-day forecast. I'll let you know when coming up. First, a look at today's winning lottery numbers. You're watching 33 News at 6.